y'all? What's up?
What's up? What's up, people?
Hey.
So,
What's good? What's good? What's happening?
it hasn't been a week. We was on here last night.
Yeah, we was on here jigging last night. You know, we did a little virtual party for the 30 Wonderful for
A-Row. So tonight, y'all, it's time to really talk. Because last night we had fun, but tonight we want to talk. We want to talk about things that is not easy for people to talk about. So that's why we got only the Truthfully Bold.
Truthfully Bold.
Bold and truth. So
that's right. Yeah. Hey y'all. Hey.
Hey,
we let them introduce themselves.
You want to go first?
Go ahead.
I am Selena. I am the founder of Truthfully Bold, and Truthfully Bold has been started since came into effect earlier this year, and we're just all about just being with your truth. You know, you're able to speak your mind and stand your ground with who you are.
That's right. I'm Selena's husband, but we we found Truthfully Bold and we come on board and we just want to let everybody know the real raw truth about the matter at hand, because we done sugar-coated and candy-coated things too long, and this is the reason why we're in the predicament that we're in. So, back to you, Turk.
So, first of all, we want to talk about the name. Can we talk about the name? What inspired you? I heard you say that we sugar coated things too long. But what inspired you? Was there anything else that inspired you about the name?
What really inspired me to have Truthfully Bold is because for a long time I tried to pipe down who I was personally to try to fit more everybody else. Thought I was supposed to be, because they told me I come off as strong, I come off as harsh, you know, things of that nature. But I always felt like if I want people to tell me stuff that if in the same return as me telling you the same thing. So you have to be bold with what you say. You have to say what you mean the first time and stand on it, and then make sure Truthfully Bold came about.
Yes. Yes, I love that. You stand in your truth. Because like Fred said, we've been sugarcoating stuff too long. Too long.
I'm gonna have to hit him with that.
Period. Mm-hmm. So tonight, we kind of want to talk about the hard truth of the nation right now, because right now we are in some hard times. And first, we want to talk about. Did you guys watch the debate?
Yes.
You guys watched
it? Yes, I did.
I made it my business to watch that comedy show.
Yeah. Comedy show. Exactly. That's what it was. A comedy show. How did you feel? What was your reaction to it?
You want to go first?
No, you go first, babe.
It was, in my opinion, I don't.
Hold on, you guys breaking up a little bit.
Can y'all hear us?
Y'all breaking up a little bit. I don't know what happened.
I don't know either. Those are, Can you unmute the
Okay. Can y'all hear us?
We're having a little technical difficulty, guys.
Yeah.
No, we still live.
Can y'all hear us? Uh-oh.
Well, we're having a little technical difficulty, guys, and we'll be right back. It's just a second.
I think we should pray again.
I think that that's not our Wi-Fi. I don't think that's our Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Hey y'all.
Hey, can y'all hear us?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, hey. So
We're back.
okay, so with the question, I do feel like it was it was a hot mess. I'm not gonna sit here and like that was anything professional. It was a lot of jabbing. It was a lot of issues that were need to be discussed that was overlooked. And me
Right.
personally, I'm just tired of us being, and I mean us as an African American community be the topic of discussion. Like I understand we have things that we're going through that needs to be addressed. There are things that are not being right, but I'm tired of being the rules for everything. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
I
about you?
Yeah, and that I'm the same way. It really bothered me when he asked the question, what are you going to do for the African American? And as an African American black man, you know what I'm saying? First of all, I don't know why we've been called African Americans. Because we want to be real, we ain't never even been to Africa.
Never
Yeah.
been.
Yes. So I mean, that's for one. But for two is that, it's like, why we got to be singled out? It's what you're doing for African Americans, what you're doing for America, the people as a whole, because African Americans not the only one that's dying from this coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? We're not the only one that's been affected by so much racism and everything else. I mean, don't just single us out. It make us feel like, basically, what can you do for us to keep our mouth closed?
Yes, just to put a hush. And it's a lot. But yeah, that's how I feel about the whole debate. It was a mess. I don't feel like it represented anything actually. I just feel like it was more of a having a fit, having a spat with each other. Who can knock each other off the hardest?
Yes.
Because it really wasn't nothing that you can, if as you look at a person like myself who is an undecided voter, who after looking at that, I'm like, I ain't voting. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't know who finna, everybody preaches. The only time they really come to the hood and or really want to come see about the people is when it's time to vote anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And only time you really care about us is when you need our vote.
Yeah.
But once you get what you want,
You don't hear,
then you forget about it.
yeah.
You don't know what it feels like to go to bed hungry, or you got to provide for your kids, or being on welfare, that kind of thing. You know what it feels like to be like both y'all. Everyone a choice. We got to eat proteins out of can. They ain't got a choice.
And we have to understand, as far as with the presidential debates, that they are the face of what's going on.
Exactly.
They are not the ones. They're really not the ones that call the shots, because even when he passed a law or he passed a bill, it has to get approved before it's finalized.
Yes.
They're the brunt of what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Everybody behind the scenes kicking up the dirt, and then they got to be the face for it, take all the backlash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, not saying that they're not participating in it, but most things that happen, they're just the scapegoat for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After watching that, I'm like, Fred, it got me like, I don't even want to vote, because both of them showed just how immature they were, and for you to be running a country, and the way that the way that they presented themselves on that show, like comedy show, was not only was it comedy, but it was kind of scary, because like, this is our next 4 years. You know, this is our life for the next 4 years. These are the people who are going to be in charge of how this country is ran for the next 4 years. You know, and so that the whole time I was just thinking, like, this is what my life gonna be like for the next 4 years. Even if it's Trump or even if it's Biden, it's to me, I don't feel like it's a.
But I do feel like you slick got to kind of make a choice.
And then when you
at
vote,
the end of the day, no vote is another vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I look at it.
Yeah. So I've been seeing a lot of people.
And when you vote, you have to vote all the way through. You can't just when you vote, you have to vote all the way through. You can't just vote for the president and stop there. You have to vote for the people and congressmen and the other chairs and House of the White House that's going to line up with the president's beliefs. There's no point in having the president that's trying to do everybody behind him got their own set of agendas in place. So no matter what the president tries to do or try to pass, it's always going to get denied. You have to have president along with the presidential crew with him line up doing the same things. We tend to stop at the president because, again, that's the face, but really it's the people that's behind the scenes that's making it work.
And you can't just vote. You know, we've been taught for so long just to vote. They say, go vote, go vote, go vote. And we like, okay, we go out and vote, but who we voting for?
Exactly.
We don't have time to sit down and watch this all day long and know who's going to be right for us. So it's basically like they say vote, just go to the polls and vote Democrat. But it's some Democrat that do some shady stuff too.
Exactly.
Along with it's Republicans doing some shady stuff. Then you got some Democrat that's gonna do the right thing, and then you got some Republican that's gonna do the right thing. So you need, basically, it's not a Democratic versus Republican issue. It really is, y'all both need to team up together and let's get this country rolling on the ball, because it's pointless. Y'all just two Clemson and Carolina rivalry teams in the same old state, going back and forth for nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you clashing, and this world is dying. People are dying daily, all because these evil tactics that y'all are putting out here for, and people we've been affected by it, because everybody I'm the better race, I'm the better color, I'm the better this, I'm the better that. Oh, you ain't doing that because you black, you ain't doing that because you white, you ain't doing that because you Latino. Man, look here. The white knows something, the black knows something, Latino knows something, African, everybody knows something. If y'all all get together and just work it together, it'll work.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, because even you can vote for the president, but the president ain't got nothing to do with your state.
Yeah.
You need to put the right representative from your state in office. Because Lindsey Graham ain't, well, I ain't gonna get all into the
get talking.
You got a brother that running against Lindsey Graham. You see what I'm saying? I'm
we have to stop labeling each other based on the category that you're in. There's good and bad in every single category. We have to start looking at people as the character as a whole instead of basing their character off of the title they hold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The main thing is doing your research.
Yeah. We have to know this stuff.
You gotta do research.
And I think that's where a lot of us as a nation go wrong, is that anything that they want to do, they can put it on paper, because they know, or what they always say, if you don't want somebody to read, if you don't want somebody to know something, put it in a book. Because a lot of times people don't want to read. People don't research. And when we know,
you're right.
Oh yeah.
When we know the truth, what did it say, Fred? The truth shall make you free. That's what we need to know. We need to know the truth all the time.
It shall make you free.
Yes, it shall make you free.
That's right.
So
it makes you free. And it also says people perish.
Yes, for the lack of knowledge.
Oh, it says my people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And that's with the reality part and the spiritual part.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Because a lot of times, even like you said, even in the natural, we sometimes tend to not know what to do or how to do it because we don't know the knowledge. We don't get to research it. Spiritually, I've been seeing a lot of posts on Facebook, and
we do research.
I think it's lagging.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of posts on Instagram, Facebook about what we are going through and where we're going to head. And I just want to know, like, from both of you guys' point of view, where do you think we are at now spiritually, and what do you think what do you want to see us in the future spiritually?
Where we're at spiritually now, we're at a very, 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 very fragile state. Over the years, we become more selfish, less educated, and gullible. We believe anything we see and hear, we take it for face value without trying to find out the true meaning of what's going on. Yeah. We quit to go off of hearsay. We quit to go off of what other people don't say, instead of getting to know the situation for ourselves, because everybody's experience isn't the same. So spiritually, if we don't get it together, we are in trouble. Yeah. Because the enemies, the principalities are getting stronger. Even though we may not be learning from it, they are studying us. We have to get to a point where we learn how to study the opposing team, which is the principalities and the enemies, so we know how to fight against them. We're so busy trying to be wrapped up in ourselves, trying to chase the next bag, trying to make sure we're happy, worrying about self. But in the end, we're going to end up perishing because we can't do it by ourselves. We cannot do everything by ourselves. We have to come together as one and fight these things, because as long as we are divided, you can fall. But you have to stick together in order to remain strong.
So true. Like I said, from a spiritual point of view, we pretty much in trouble. From a spiritual point, the enemy has literally lifted, God showed me an image of a bunch of, evil people and the devil's star. And they, normally when they all gather around, they got these hoods on their head, they just bow down. And now I saw an image in which they lift their heads up and they took the hood off. And they literally exposing and letting everybody know who they really are. Mm-hmm. As you see with the debate, as you see with Donald Trump, as you see with a lot of other things, the devil has poked his head up and he is exposing himself. And this thing is exposing a lot of stuff. The virus is exposing a lot of churches. It's exposing a lot of the evil things that's behind the scenes that nobody preach about, don't want to talk about, don't want to. Now you and me as a whole are starting to see as what Obama was in the chair, but it was all just behind the scenes that Obama had to get out there and be the puppet for the people and tell them all the pretty stuff, but really, that's why he was so ready to get the heck out the chair, because of what was really going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you everything when I got a gun pointed at my back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just a different feel. So, yeah, the enemy has exposed himself now, and he really coming bold. And we as a people, so-called Christian, believers of Christ, don't get our act together and get our stuff in line, we in trouble. You're gonna perish with the people. You're gonna. That's why you gotta do a self-examination. They trying to pack heaven out, but heaven ain't gonna be that packed. Yeah, it's a lot of people perish because of lack of knowledge and understanding.
Oh. Wow. So, is there anything? And I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to you too, as you know, because I look to y'all as spiritual advisors. You know, anytime I need my spirit lifted up, I always go to one of y'all page all the time. Where do you think we are headed? Because you said we are in trouble now. Where do you think we are headed in the future? With the church, with the spiritually, with how we conduct. What do you say?
Yeah. So basically, in history class, I can't remember what it's called, but certain type of governments, after so many years, fall because the way they're structured. As spiritual point of view, for as people that call themselves Christians, the people that call themselves followers of Christ, they are not in it 100%, or they're not really invested in it and just using it as a ruse to get what they need out in life and not really there to help people. When you base your standard that type of government, because we call the church a government, depending on how you build that, it's going to collapse, it's going to fall apart. It's going to be a time where these kids went in when I outdoor, we don't get. Hey, y'all there?
Yeah, we here. Can you hear us?
Okay, cool. But yeah, as I was saying, it's gonna be a thing of a past because we're not doing things to help grow. We, in certain ways, we think we're doing things to help it, but we're really making it worse because we only want to do things just enough to benefit us. We're not doing things to benefit us as a whole. We just want to benefit us individually.
Wow.
And that's true. Where we, like you said, where we going as a country, as a church family, and like my wife said, we are heading to a place where, because you got to think about it, our age, like you said, when our kids get to be by our age, or probably sooner, in the next 10 to 15 years, if churches may still exist, but it's going to be the platform churches, like the big name church. It ain't going to be all the little sidebar churches like you got going on now, because it ain't nothing but older generation. And you got to look at it. The big mamas and the granddaddies and the grandmamas, the real patriots, the real saints are dying out. And they done lived their life, they done everything for their generation. So the next generation is pretty much going to be relying on us for the next step of guidance. And it's a lot to go with this right here, man, that can really take this thing a whole nother way. And that's a whole nother day that you got to get us to talk
And
about.
just because, and you have to understand what the definition of church means. You basically have 2 or 3 definitions of the word church. The building itself, the church that is in you, that you're supposed to carry at all times, and then the church as a whole, as like a congregation, we coming together as one body. I'm speaking of the physical church. Going to church is I'm not gonna say it's going to be a thing of a past, but that's what it's heading towards, because with us, like our age, Turk, we can vouch for when we was younger and stuff. We seen a lot of things that we knew wasn't right, but we was like, when we get older, we're not going to follow those same footsteps. And sadly enough, it leads to not going back to church, because when you go to church, that's when you see the most contradictory stuff at. You shy away because you don't know what to expect. So as the future comes along, it's gonna be less and less people going to church, because you have to think about it. The parents that are not gonna be raising kids out of the church. So that's why church buildings are not going to be as popular as they were now. They're not going to be as famous as they were. And God is trying to get us away from that, because it is not intended it to be. So now he has to destroy it. That's the way I look at it,
And I agree. I definitely agree, because looking now, even me now looking, it's like going. It's not normal to me anymore, because it's like I could do this at home now. When people used to say that before, I used to be like, you can't, you really can't. But now you can. You really can connect with God at home. Like I said, it's great to have people like a spiritual coach or a spiritual advisor or somebody, who can coach you. But you can do it at home. I feel like as long as your heart is pure and you are doing what you're supposed to do, you can do everything that they at church are doing at home. And so now I feel also that as me being a young adult now, seeing stuff that I didn't understand when I was younger also is kind of like is kind of like pushing my age group away. I talked to somebody the other day, and they were basically like, they ain't going to church no more. Like literally not going to church anymore, because they feel as if it's a fake, it's a fraud. They even said it's fugazi. They feel like people go to church to show off, and they kind of broke my heart a little bit, because it was like, at first when they first told me, it broke my heart, because I was like, wow, you got people. I didn't even know people like my age felt this way. I just thought they didn't go to church because it was boring. But you have people who you think not watching really know. They really watching. They watching and they know for real. They really are. So
and as us and as us being young adults too, we were raised that, and let's be real, we was raised as kids that we didn't have a say so. We weren't allowed to think. We weren't allowed to feel. We were supposed to do what we say, do what they said, and that's just it. You basically was a child puppet. So now that we are actually can be accounted for ourselves and we can make decisions for ourselves, now we want to break away from all of that, because it was not a good experience. That's what I said. And then a lot of people try to be so like, why do you think, or why they're not there anymore? But they fail to realize that some past experiences that you may bottled up inside, the things that you said that didn't matter, the things you kept sweeping on the road for the sake of your family name, is what pushed it away. Now people trying to find their own soul salvation through the things that they think is right to them, because the things that y'all told us was right actually hurt us in the long run.
Yes. Wow. What is something that,
and also the youth is pretty much the youth is pretty much is in a place now where, like y'all just said, it's fake. Like they and we tired of being shied. We're tired of being looked upon, frowned upon, because we get this new anointing to fall on us, and we get this enlightenment, and then Big Mama or somebody tell you that ain't God. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because it's not normal. And we get tired of going to church when we know what's going to happen next. It's predictable, and people are sick and tired of your religious practice on this is God and this the way it's gonna be until the day I die. Well, I beg to differ, because when I go to my homeboy church, they don't operate like this. I feel God over here. I see God moving over here. I see miracles happen over here. I see signs and wonders happen over here. So this right here ain't really the business. What are we really doing versus, you know what I'm saying? Like what they got going on. So that's basically what Jesus told us. He said, Jesus didn't have a church. Jesus didn't go to church. He preached at the church as a guest preacher and still got prosecuted. That's a whole nother sermon for another day. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. He never did say go to church. Paul established churches, but Paul never pastored a church. But we put so much emphasis on the pastor, but look down on the prophet, and look down on the apostles, and look down on the teachers and the evangelists and the people that's supposed to be making up the church body.
And again, back to being the face of everything. Just like I was saying earlier, the presidents are the face of the country, but it's the people behind the scenes that make it run the way that it runs. Just like a pastor, they are the face of that church that they pastoring, but it's the people like the deacons, the evangelists, the ushers that should run the church that give reflection of the church.
That's right.
You know, it's the same thing. That's why you can separate it. You have to have common sense to survive in the spiritual. A lot of things in the spiritual, if you don't have common sense, it's gonna knock you across the head. Yeah. Because I didn't go to church until I was 18 years old, so I grew up with the common sense perspective until I was 18, because I felt like I was missing out on something, because everybody was telling me, oh, you need to go to church, you need to go to church, you need to go to church. Granted, it did help me grow as a person, it did make me change my ways, but it was the people that was behind the scene that got me there. Yeah. It was the ones that people overlooked, the ones that people didn't recognize, or because they're not of status quo, they can't answer God's calling. Those are the ones that helped me change as a person. Yeah. You know, and that's just real, you know, and that made me actually realize that you don't have to be in nobody's church to change, because God gives you people in your life that He distilled in you to speak through them for you and help you change as a person.
And that's so true, because I'm a preacher, I'm a minister, and I've been in church all my life. Y'all know that I've been in church almost 27 years of my life. But I found God for real in my room, in my prayer room, you know, doing my own thing with God. I didn't find Him at the church because He showed up so many different ways that, you know, people presented Him in so many different ways at the church, it confused you. You know what I'm saying? Because they called it God when the choir member sung a good song, tore the church up, and then taking the credit for what she did. Wow. You know what I'm saying? They called it God when grandma was shout all over the church and then get on the telephone and start talking about what the preacher didn't do and what the deacon need to do and this, that, or the third, and they all that. They called it God then. So it confused folk like me. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely me, because I used to ask Frederick all the time, like, why is this like, I thought this was supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. Like, they doing the same stuff that they do in the streets. Like, there is not, I don't see a difference. Yeah. You know, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I am not knocking people, but I have come across some godly people. I mean, they walk and they call you heavy and they call it. Yes. But I'm speaking as a whole, what the outside people who don't go to church see, because I see exactly what they saw, but I still had to make up in my mind again. I can't put everybody in the same category for them holding a certain title when everybody has their own character they have to account for.
Yeah. What because we were talking about young adults. And both of you guys are, you know, young adults, both of you guys are in the same age range as the age range that are like kind of like leaving the church, what could you say to them, not to get them back in the church, but to kind of like encourage them to try to connect with God again?
Don't let people outside opinions tear you down as a person. Don't let people dictate your every move. Find the ones that are closest to you that's going to boost you up when you're down and not tear you down and boost you back up in the same breath, because they want to manipulate you into what they want you to be so you can benefit them. Find those 2 or 3 genuine people, because I'm going to tell you right now, me personally, they're going to come a dime a dozen. They're going to come different parts of your life. You may go 1 to 2 years without having nobody pouring into you, but you have to find your own internal strength. You have to have a pure heart and make sure when you do certain things, you have the right motive. A lot of people
Yes.
fall short because you're doing good actions but have bad motives.
Yes.
So you just have to keep pushing. Like, it sounds so cliche, but you really have to keep pushing, because when the time is right, God's gonna send that person to you out the blue, but you just have to be weary and be mindful and have discernment along the way. If it's some of your gut feeling telling you it's not right, pretty much it's not right, because that's God trying to tell you you don't need to go that route. Just because it may be peer pressure, you may get talked about, you may get ridiculed, you may be the topic on at night, you may be the text conversation, you may be in that group chat that you thought that was people were your friends and you talking about you, laughing about what you said and did. But you have to keep moving, because at the end of the day, you have to account for your life. You have to be happy and you have to do what's best for you. And if it causes you to leave people alone, and family included, you know, we tend to try to be loyal to people that the loyalty should have been cut off a long time ago, because that season is up. You know, like I said, you have to judge people on their character and not their title.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
And she said that in a nutshell. Like, yeah, if I had to tell them, I tell them from the single thing, man. Like, you can't find God. I mean, if you want God, I mean, like, just go for him, shoot for him, like, pray, do something different that you don't normally do. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't always included you paying your tithes and doing all this other stuff. You know, it just telling you, just talk to him a little bit more. Yeah. Show God how bad you want it. It's something the Lord gave me last week about having a relationship. He said, in a relationship, in order for me and Selena to make our life work, make our relationship work, we got to love each other. We got to learn each other's love language.
That's right.
And the same way with God, you got to learn y'all love language. Yeah. You got to know, okay, if this is what God like, or this is what God don't like, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to change. You got to know all that stuff just to make that relationship work. You got to build and update your, I can't keep doing the same stuff I did was engaged on the same stuff that I'm married. I got to find something else, because the love language change with the age.
And granted, too, you have to, and if you going to church, is how you find God, and that's how you connect with God. By all means, you go and you continue to get what to get, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't gotten what I needed in church. There's a lot of things, a lot of breakthroughs that happen to me by going to church. But the church is a hospital.
Yes.
It's meant for you to go, get your treatment, get healed, and get discharged.
That's
so you
right.
can go heal somebody else. A hospital should not be like a shade tree mechanic where you just give them just enough so they can keep coming back just for the sake of membership. You should be able to heal them wholly, if it's in God's will for you to heal them wholly, and send them on their way.
Ooh. Jesus.
Bam.
Yes.
Oh, mercy.
Hey.
I think this might be the benediction right here.
Yeah.
Listen.
And because church, it has become like we talk all the time. This is the hospital. This is the hospital. But it ain't hospitals no more. It's hospice.
Wow, people dying in the church.
We dying in the church. We just going there just to die. I'm coming in broken, and you ain't giving me nothing to feed me. You just giving me painkillers. You giving me that last piece of medicine they give you before you leave here.
Oh, morphine.
Morphine.
I forgot the name of it, but you just giving me that. You just giving me morphine just to get me through what I'm going through at this present moment until I slip on out of here. spiritually and die. If you can look at a lot of churches and lift the churches up, you'll see a lot of dead bodies up on the church. And it ain't because they got a cemetery, it's because people that have died spiritually in the church.
Woo.
Because lack of knowledge.
Whew. I think I might need to put y'all cash up for the Lord needs. Man, my God. This is turning into a church live tonight, y'all. We going to church tonight.
And that's another thing. We done took money and presented money
as a way to get
as a way to get to God. I'm so sick and tired of church now because I feel like when God was free, it was one time salvation was free. But now it's like the only way I'm gonna get to God now, I gotta give a preacher $50. I gotta who in here will sow a seed of $10.
Yeah.
After you done got you, now you gotta sow a seed. Nigga, you done killed me all over again. My pocket back hurting again. Now. My head back hurting again now. You know, cause you hit my wallet. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, when you gonna give out a free blessing?
Free.
I gotta pay for everything I do now.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? I thought God was free, but it's like I gotta pay for this relationship. I gotta pay for everything. It ain't that God need money. God don't need no money. Them people need the money, and they gonna use God just to get it. And don't you get manipulated and get misunderstood when they tell you to sow this seed and try to make you feel bad, but if you don't do it.
Now, granted, too, it's certain seeds that you do so that's going to get you a blessing. But don't feel like you have to be bullied into doing it. Absolutely. Because when you give, you're supposed to give cheerfully. You're supposed to give joyfully. It's supposed to be a gift, not a form of, how can I put it?
Here we go
not
again.
Something, here we go again, or something mandatory like, if I don't pay you today, I'm going to hell tomorrow. Basically. Don't guilt trip me to paying for a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, because even though it says in the Bible, you're supposed to give what's due unto others, true enough. But also it says too that you should give freely. It should be a gift. Not once in the Bible did Jesus demand anything from anybody. He gave it, you didn't, but I never stopped him for blessing others and doing signs, miracles, and wonders and being who he was taught to be for. You know, we got using the church as a business in a way to pay your bills.
Oh.
Because a lot of churches back up because the bills was catching up. They was so when coronavirus first happened, they were like, "Oh, we trust God, and COVID-19 ain't gonna come through here. Oh, we gonna hold it. We can hold it down." All this other crazy nonsense. But they was the most people, and now that we had to close down the churches, now the bills open back up now, so we got to go back in church now. We got to start raising some more money. You know. And we just have to stop making people look like a fool. Because if you don't think people pick up on how you're treating them, they pick up on it and they're going to move accordingly. Sometimes it's not always the outside or they live in a hellish life the reason why they change their actions. Sometimes it's where you were supposed to be getting help hurting them more than the world. That's why they go back to the world, because they know what to expect.
Yeah,
that's good. Oh wow, we thank y'all so much for coming on tonight. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot more about the spirit realm of what's going on, and also the spirit realm of church, because like you said, a lot of times we weren't taught the truth. We were taught what they wanted us to know. We were taught just a little bit to get by.
That's it.
Just to get by.
That's it.
Little dabba-do.
Yeah, a little dabba-do. That's what we were taught. And a lot of young people are like, they confused. And that's why
it's not just young.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people confused. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Because like I said, last week, like that's been the hardest thing.
Because now starting from scratch, we have to figure out the things wrong.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's been one of the hardest things for me to do, is to unlearn all the stuff that I've learned in my childhood.
Yeah, and that's the best way to learn somebody. If you want to learn somebody, learn their childhood first, because every adult is a reflection of their childhood one way or another. Before you put your mouth on a person, try to figure out what their childhood was like, because that is the first seed that is planted when you become a young adult.
Yes.
It was another question I wanted to ask them.
Yes, it. So,
Mm.
It was another one. It was another question I wanted to ask you. I gotta think about it. I can't think about it right now, but I'm glad that y'all's platform is y'all are necessary right now in this time. Y'all are necessary, especially to reach people. And like I said, even though the younger people, Selena, you're reaching the younger people. Fred, believe it or not, you got some of these older people you're reaching still, and yet because of how authentic and how genuine y'all are, and you can literally feel y'all's spirit through the phone when y'all are talking, when y'all are doing the lives, and when on Mondays when Selena do her motivation, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I just want to thank y'all because y'all help uplift my spirit sometimes. Y'all really do. Yes, really.
And y'all show like the ugly truth. Like y'all don't paint perfect, like a perfect picture. Y'all show that yes, we are human.
Mm-hmm. Did it go out?
Mm-hmm.
I think it went out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. But y'all, we really do. Oh, here they come.
Can y'all hear us?
Uh-oh.
They might need it.
Uh-oh. You can't hear.
Can't hear.
But y'all, we thank Selena and Frederick so much for coming on tonight.
Yes.
It means a lot to us.
Yes.
For them to be on
and give us the
truth.
The
bold
truth.
Truthfully, bold. They give us the bold truth tonight. We really appreciate them.
Y'all get into this fall back here.
Get into
this fall.
Y'all see? We are
pumpkins.
We are
sunflowers.
Okay. Can y'all hear us?
Hey, can y'all hear us?
Good.
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
We good. But yeah, we just want people to just be better people, be their best version of themselves. That's all.
So before we let you guys go, can you tell us a little bit tell us how can they contact you guys?
Yeah, tell our viewers how they can contact and reach you guys, interact with y'all. If they have some questions, how they can hit y'all up.
Okay. We are on Instagram at Truthfully Bold, all together lowercase. We are on Facebook as Truthfully Bold. You can message us. Frederick's Facebook profile is Frederick Brooks, and mine is Selena Brooks. You can message us on there, or you can email us at truthfullybold@gmail.com. You if you want to remain anonymous, that's perfectly fine. Just let us know. We're open floor, open questions. Because it's things that need to be talked about that has been swept under the rug for way too long. So any one of those methods, we would definitely respond.
Absolutely.
Yep. And I can tell y'all personally that that Fred he gonna give it to y'all raw. Selena as well, but Fred, he is so cool, guys. For the ones that's wanting somebody to talk to who can get on their level, Fred, he'll definitely do that for y'all.
Yeah. And we can vouch
for that because Fred not asking me anything. In my call, Fred.
Anything. anything. When he texted us that day, he told us the raw truth. He
yeah,
not
we
they
gonna-
gotta pull you in. He
Mhm.
told us the raw truth, like, hey, this is what I seen. This is what needs to be done. Let's do it. And
I mean, I get so comfortable sometimes when I'm
Yeah.
talking to Fred. I
yeah,
have to think about it. I'm like, Lord.
he a preacher. He a preacher. I gotta remember. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I definitely.
I ain't big on all that. I ain't big on, you got a lot of people, they big on all that. You're a preacher and you gotta respect them. Like me personally, I'm Fred.
Yeah.
And then I'm Fred. I'm just trying to help somebody get to Christ. That's all. And that's my whole assignment. If I could die and leave this earth, at least I know I done help somebody get the. I want you to get there, man. That's all I'm all about. If somebody was real with me, somebody
Right.
kept it real with me, so I gotta keep it real with the people, man. I just can't sugarcoat this thing.
Right.
I know that's right.
I'm sorry. I don't need no big hat, top collar, big old cross. Ain't me. I used to wear a little collar and stuff. I'm like, man, this ain't me, man. I ain't feeling this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it to you straight like this. Man, I'm from the hood where we do it good. Hey, and that's the only way I know how to be, man. I like McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? And I like Zaxby's. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I can be either way if you let me get on your platform, but I'm gonna keep it real with you either way. So that's how he is, man. Me and my wife the same way, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just gonna keep it straight up.
It's hard to get level when you constantly reminded them that you're on level than them.
Right.
And y'all, like I said, we don't worry about the viewers. We don't worry about a whole lot. But I'll tell you one thing. One thing I learned though, it ain't about who's watching, how many people is watching. Just know hell gonna hit their household. Something gonna go wrong, and they gonna need a word, and they gonna think about Boston Circle, and they gonna think about Truthfully Bold, and they gonna come in. They gonna watch it.
Yeah.
So don't worry about they on it now. They gonna get on it.
Oh yeah.
So you just continue to present yourself the way God told you to do it, just the way God showed you, just the way He said get His word across. Let it happen, man. The hell with the naysayers, cause we on our way.
We on our way.
On the way. On the way.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gonna watch you while you're down. They gonna watch you while you go up.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, gonna keep watching.
Yes.
You don't watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and you're gonna lose a lot of people along the way.
Yes. We definitely appreciate
So
you
we
guys.
thank y'all, man.
Yeah, and y'all have
do
our
things, man.
full support. Like
Yeah.
we fans. We are
Yes,
fans. We are fans.
Yes. We really appreciate you guys.
Word. To God
We
be the
really
glory, man.
appreciate you guys.
Yes.
And we thank y'all. And we hope y'all have a great night.
A great.
And we appreciate you.
Uh-oh.
Thank y'all.
You too. Y'all have a great night, and we are. You have our support 100% as well. And I am so proud of y'all, and I just can't wait to see what y'all have in the future. Congratulations on y'all podcast, and I just wish the best, nothing but the best for y'all. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Likewise. We appreciate it.
We're gonna win.
Thank y'all so much. So everybody, we love y'all. We love y'all. We hope
Thank
y'all
y'all for y'all continued support each and every Sunday.
So we're gonna play this advertisement for y'all. Share this because we want to play this advertisement for y'all.
Yes, sir.
So y'all know what's coming up next for us.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Let me see if I can get it up. I gotta get the advertisement up first, y'all. Did y'all learn something tonight? I want to know that they learned something tonight. Tonight was great.
It was great.
Yeah, and tonight was changed. Like it was not even what it was supposed to be about. But I'm so excited it wasn't because we learned something different. We learned something that a lot of people really don't want to talk about. But you have to be bold.
Yep. We got a treat for y'all next week too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, make
So
sure y'all tune in.
Tune in.
Make sure y'all are tuned in for that. Next week, we'll have someone special. We ain't gonna tell y'all. Right, you gotta tune in.
Got a special guest next week.
Next week. We gonna play this advertisement for y'all, and then we gonna leave. This is what we gonna do. Cause I know y'all tired of us.
They ain't tired of us.
They ain't tired of us.
They ain't tired of us.
I know. I was crazy when I said it. Y'all ain't tired of us. Y'all ain't tired of us. Y'all can never get too tired of us. I hope y'all really learned something tonight. It was great. Oh man, it was so great being able to hear, the truth from people our age, especially from people it was good. I hope y'all really learned something tonight. Like I said, we're gonna play this advertisement for y'all, and then we're gonna get up out of here. We sound like we in church. We're gonna get up out of here. Get on out.
Ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer.
Get on up out y'all way. Get on up out y'all way.
Ain't gonna worry y'all too long.
Worry your patience. Is that what you say?
Every single time.
All right, y'all. We coming.
Get right, sir.
I know. Guess what, y'all? We'll show that advertisement next week.
Next week. Good night, y'all.
Anytime it comes. We love y'all.
Good night.
Good night. We love y'all.